Hey guys, my name's AlphaJackal, and today we're going to be talking about the Loki nerf going into patch 6.1. Specifically, the nerf to his basic attack chain's first hit, going down from 100% damage to 75% damage. Now, on the surface, may look like something very small, very insignificant, but when you get into his combos, which involved basic attack cancelling, where you use the very first hit of his auto attack chain, the one that got nerfed, it does make a big difference. And to prove that, we're going to look at the numbers behind it. This isn't a typical feels video. It's not based on, just assumptions. This is raw, hard mathematics. If you guys do not want to see boring numbers on the screen, then this is your chance to turn away, or go towards the end of the video where I break it down a bit more in depth. But for those of you who do enjoy the numbers and want to see exactly how this will affect Loki, this video is right for you. Now, before we get into the nitty and gritty, we're going to just put down the ground rules and put down exactly what we're going to be looking at. So, we're going to be looking at 3 different combos, which I'm going to be dubbing the perfect combo, the actual combo with ult, and the actual combo with no ult. In the perfect combo, you have all of your abilities spread out with basic attack cancellations in between. You're going to start off with your Assassinate into a basic attack cancel, Aim Strike into a basic attack cancel, and then finally Vanish into a basic attack cancel. With your actual combo with ult, you're going to be Vanish and Assassinate into a basic attack cancel, and then Aim Strike into a basic attack cancel. And as you can assume, that final combo without the ult is literally going to be Vanish into a basic attack cancel, and then Aim Strike into a basic attack cancel. That's going to be the combos that we're looking at. Obviously, those numbers are going to be useless without a build. So, let's have a look at the Loki build that we're going to be using for this scenario. It's going to be a fully stacked Transcendence, Warrior Tabai, Crusher, Hydras, Titan's Bane, and Jotun's Wrath, giving us a total of 25 flat pen, as well as some extra % penetration against certain targets. And once more, the final bit of info that we're going to be needing is the fact that we're going to go up against 2 separate targets for these comparisons. We're going to go up against a low protection Hu Yi, i.e. no auras around him, no physical defense being built on him, just his natural defense at level 20, versus a Geb as well. We'll be looking at Geb in a typical support build, which I'm going to be bringing up on screen as well. We're using cooldown boots. We're going to be using Sovereignty, Oni Hunter's Garb, and we're going to assume that Oni Hunter's Garb is fully stacked, Spirit's Robe, a Magi's Cloak, and a Emperor's Armor, giving him a total of 234 physical defense and 24% mitigations. Now that that's out of the way, let's have a look at Loki's perfect combo, and how it is currently in 5.24. We're going to start off with the Assassinate damage, which is equivalent to 784, and just so you know, the numbers are going to be the exact same for Assassinate, his Aim Strike, his Vanish, his Crusher. The only things that are going to change are the Hydras and the basic attack damage which he does. Those are the only things which are going to change. So his Assassinate going to do 784 damage all the time. His Aim Strike going to do 498 all the time. His Vanish going to do 640 over 2 seconds. And Crusher going to do 185.1 over 2 seconds. Now, obviously, with this combo, we are going to be having basic attack cancels in between with Hydras. You can see on screen, they are going to be doing 436.8 and 218.4 damage respectively, for a total perfect combo of 4,072.7 damage pre-mitigations. If you're going up against a target with 0 physical protections, this is how much damage you will do to them. But of course, our targets do not have 0 physical protections. They have some physical protections to them. Hu Yi has 69 physical protections when he is at level 20. Now, not going to go into the mathematics of it here, but if you look at the Word of Thoth, which I'm going to be linking down in the description, it's written by a good friend of mine, Flareboot, who you should all have a look at in voting for in the Olympians alongside me. He will explain the mathematics of how to get to this number better than I will. So, once we apply the formula, we have 33.2 physical protections after penetration, giving our combo damage a grand total of 3,058, rounded to the nearest number. That is a lot of damage. The Hu Yi is dead. completely. If we take a look at Geb as well, given the 24% mitigations as well as his after pen prots of 115, he's going to be taking an almighty 1,440 damage from this combo. Now Geb at full HP with this build, as you saw, has 3,210 health, so he's going down to about 3/5 health, whilst, as I said, Hu Yi is completely dead. Now, let's have a look at this in 6.1. How is this now affected by the nerf? Well, 6.1, you can see that the basic attack and the Hydra's values are going to decrease from 436.8 and 218.4 respectively, now down to 327.6 and 163.8. In total, the combo goes down by nearly 500 damage, down to 3,581.3. Still an almighty amount of damage, but nowhere near as impressive as the 4,072 that we had before. Again, applying the formula through the protections for Hu Yi and Geb, we come out to totals of 2,689 combo damage onto Hu Yi, and 1,266 damage onto the Geb, both rounded to the nearest number. Hu Yi is still dead, Geb taking well over a third of his health in that scenario, but still able to survive, and able to get a shield off to mitigate some more of that damage. For our second scenario, like I said, we're going to be looking at an actual combo which you will be doing. Most of the time, you're going to be starting in your Vanish, then into an Assassinate, into that basic attack cancel, into an Aim Strike, into a basic attack cancel. In 5.24, our total combo damage is going to be doing 3,417.5, meaning that once we plug it in through the formula, Hu Yi will be taking 2,566 damage, whilst Geb will be taking 1,208 damage. Again, both rounded to the nearest number. What does this mean? Again, it means that Hu Yi is dead, and Geb is taking just over a third of his health. Now, this is where it gets interesting. In 6.1, with the nerf activated, and his first basic attack in his chain doing less damage, the combo is going to do 3,089.9 total damage, pre-mitigations. To Hu Yi, that'll be doing 2,320 damage total. This is the big deal. That is if you're including Vanish damage as a whole. That comes out over 2 seconds. Assassinate will only stun you for 1 second, meaning you're only taking half of the Vanish damage before you're then allowed to move around, use your relics, use your Aegis specifically. So if we take off 320 damage from that Vanish, we then come to a total of 2,000 damage flat, if you round it up to the nearest number. Hu Yi at level 20 has 2,040 health. So the combo goes from being able to kill him without him being able to Aegis it, to the point where he can now Aegis it. He's still dead, because after the Aegis it's just one basic attack left. But he no longer needs to expend beads to buy time. He can just expend his Aegis if he wants to buy time to get up into a jump, or to get some support from like a Geb, or a Khepri, or a Ymir. Any single Guardian can then go over and help this Hu Yi. He does not need to expend beads. That is the big deal here. This combo will now not fully kill the ADC in an instant. It will kill them over the 2 seconds. It will kill them in 1.5 seconds. But the Assassinate only stunning for 1 second, meaning there's a 0.5 second window where the ADC can react with their Aegis and live. As you can see, the damage it will do to Geb is equivalent to 1,092 after mitigations. Again, he's taken about a third of his health at that point. We come now to the final combo which we're doing, which is in the scenario where Loki is saving his Assassinate to escape, or he does not have the Assassinate up. How much damage is the combo doing straight away? Well, in 5.24, the damage before mitigations is 2,572 rounded to the nearest number, meaning that after mitigations, Hu Yi is taking a total of 1,931 damage, whilst Geb is taking a whopping 909. This combo before the nerf is not killing Hu Yi straight away, but it's putting him down to one basic attack away from dying. As you can see, the basic attack does 436 before mitigations. It will do half that on its next basic attack in the chain, doing around 218, which is exactly what Hydra's is. That extra damage will put Hu Yi into death range. That'll kill him. And if that fails, then just one more basic attack afterwards, which will come out very quickly. So, the time the vanish damage applies, Hu Yi will die. If Loki sticks on him with a couple of extra basic attacks. Geb is a non-factor at this point. He's not taking enough damage to really be threatened by the Loki. And you can see that again in his 6.1 combo. Let's skip straight all the way down to Geb, who's taking 793 damage. Not enough to really worry about. He's just brushing aside the Loki. He's shielding himself. He's taking no damage. Hu Yi, on the other hand, is taking 1,685 damage. Again, this is a big deal. Why do you ask? Well, now he's no longer killable by a couple of basic attacks. You need to apply a load of basic attacks in a row to be able to kill the Hu Yi from this point on, because you don't have any of your abilities. You need to wait for your aim strike to come back up if you want to really burst him down again. And it's not going to come up as quickly as Hu Yi will be able to then fight back onto you. At this point, Hu Yi doesn't need to beat or Aegis. But he doesn't need to beat at all because he's not taking any CC. He doesn't need to Aegis this damage. What he can do is he can just market the Golden Crow you and then look to stun you out. He can basic attack you. He can fight back easily. In 5.24, the ADC cannot fight back against this combo. In 6.1, they can. Loki no longer has his identity as an instant kill to the backline ADC. He cannot do that anymore. Other jungle assassins will do this better than the Loki does in 6.1. I'm looking at Thanatos will be able to burst targets down quicker. Camazotz probably will as well, with a bit more threat and a bit more survivability. Thor could be finding his way back into the meta as well, although I don't really think he will. You're pretty much looking at every other jungler on the planet being able to do what Loki does at this point to the backline ADC. The only difference is Loki can get in because of his invisibility, whilst the rest have to use Blink. But to the same point, I don't mind expending Blink to kill an ADC. After this patch, Loki has no identity in this meta. At this point, I think Loki's decoy needs to have a rework. I think something needs to happen to it to make sure that he has an identity again and to give him some competitive viability. Because right now, Loki is a D tier character in my eyes. There is no reason to pick him when you can pick any other jungler and do better with him. You can pick any other solo laner and get better pressure with him and do everything that Loki wants to do. That's just my take on it. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you later.